where going live does not. We're gonna keep trying. I hope it sticks around. Grab some coffee. This happens almost every week now, technology and its exciting desire to mess up, but I think we're good. So we'll try that again. Good morning to everybody. I am like a minute or two late, but I mean, it's called coffee for a reason. I'm always in need. If you guys saw the video last night, you know, Poe and Vu are hanging out helping. They were preparing by getting their own coffee. And I had somebody ask me, yes, they do have their own little cute coffee cup. It doesn't say anything on it. It just has its own little spoon. It's actually from Arizona, but the design, sadly, scrubbed off. It's an espresso cup. But I did have someone ask me if they actually have their own little cup, and yes, they do. So, if you guys saw, I called this almost free. And there's a reason for that, and it goes back to a couple of things I've been posting recently, and I don't know where I put my, I found them. I don't know where I found my cool little update thing, but, so, if you saw the post from last night, it's all about the starter welcome kit from Bucked Up. They are an energy protein company. No, this is not an infomercial or commercial. It is simply explaining why that was up there. I'm getting ready to train for the Everyday Spartan book. And my actual official training starts on January 1st. Right now I'm doing all the research, all the groundwork, getting everything kind of set up. I'm working with CrossFit gyms. We have so many CrossFit gyms here in town. We've got PFC, we've got CrossFit, we've got UFC Fit. Camp Rhino is a very, very well-known one. They partner not only with Spartan, but also with High Rocks. So there's a ton of them. There's 702 CrossFit, there's Las Vegas CrossFit. But they're not the only ones that do training. I belong to the Las Vegas Athletic Club. You can train at Planet Fitness and EOS and pretty much anywhere. You don't even have to be a member of a gym. I'm going to do a lot of training outside of the gym as well. I do happen to be a member. I've been a member of the gym for almost 16 years now, so that is, it's been a big part of my life, and then I'll be incorporating some of that. I did have a trainer. He and his wife moved to Alaska to open their own gym, and so I wish them luck. I wish them the best luck, and I thank them for everything that they did teach me before they left, but I'm kind of going at it on my own now, and I thought about that. It's actually, I think, the way I want to do it. I could go and get another trainer. I could join a UFC Fit or Camp Rhino gym. I am going to go talk to them. I'm going to see what their facilities are like, but not everybody has that option. Not everybody can afford to have either multiple gym memberships or even gym memberships at all. Some people, they just want to get out there. Some people run, or some people go work out on a playground with their kids if they've got them. So there's a lot of different options, and I'm going to be exploring kind of all of those different ideas as I get ready over the next year plus. I will be taking on the Spartan races starting in 28, and I'm doing all of them in 2028. The biggest thing that's been holding me back has been the injury to my back. Being on gentle movement for, recovery from the car accident. But I saw the first group to release me, and they have signed up. I still have a few more. I've been working with specialists and pain management people for over a year now, and I'm happy that hurdle 1 cleared. So I have never been a pre-workout person. To be honest, I've only taken it a couple of times, and it was truly awful. The ones that I took before, I cannot stand C4. It's the taste. It does work. It does. You feel the boost. I just can't stand the taste. And that's a me thing. Another big issue with a lot of pre-workouts, they tend to be fruitier flavors. Kind of like the additives that you might put in your water, Gatorade type of stuff. I have an allergy to citrus. So anything with large amounts of citric acid or that's lemon or lime based. I can have little bits of orange. It'll annoy my stomach, but it won't be too bad. But like lemons, and I need an EpiPen, so I have to be very, very careful. The good thing about Bucked Up is they do have some flavors I actually can have. I haven't tried them yet. I was simply brought on board, and so I'm looking forward to kind of seeing what they have. But they also have additional things. They've got just regular creatine, which you can add to things. They've got protein. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they have, because I do believe in supplements and vitamins and things to help you increase your abilities. And Lord knows, from where I'm at now to where I need to be, we've got some levels. The other fun one is, you guys have seen these, my Deck of Death cards. This is the most recent one, the Medusa deck. And they're terrifying. They truly live up to their names. It even says right down there, oh, this one actually says, I don't know if you can see that, it says death to weakness. The other three, the lower body, upper body, and whole body, just say this is gonna suck. They're not wrong. And then you've got your little how-to cards, and they are hot pink. Hot pink. And then it's just a bunch of different exercises and different reps. And I have a number of these cards, and I work with them as well. So this is because I travel. And next year, while I'm going to be hardcore into doing the training, I also have about 11 events. Some of them are here in town, like hopefully the Las Vegas Book Festival. I'll get into that again. Flirty in Las Vegas is another one that's here. So those are, sorry, challenged in the morning. Those are ones that I don't really have to travel for. I can go to the gym, but you don't always have a fitness center in your hotel when you do travel. You don't necessarily, even if you do. Prime example would be when I was at Bray in July. There was a fitness center there, but it had a pipe leak, and so the entire room smelled like mold. 2 of the 3 cardio equipment pieces didn't even turn on. The weights were more like toys. The actual weights themselves were plastic, and they had no actual weight to them. So working out was purely just body weight, which again goes back to those cards. It gives you the opportunity to kind of just shuffle the deck and flip it over and do, okay, we're going to do burpees, we're going to do squats, we're going to do push-ups. And I know this feels like a fitness TED Talk this morning, but it's just one of the projects I'm working on. I also have mentioned that there are going to be changes coming with some of my business partnerships. So right now, I'm finishing up Wrath, and due to a lot of personal stuff that is obviously delayed, it's not going to be out in a week. I'm getting it to you as fast as I can. I will have pre-orders for Greed and for Sloth and Gluttony Up, so I swear you guys will know the actual exact release dates on those. That way, less things to worry about, and I've had people asking about Wrath, so it's coming, I swear. And then Greed and Gluttony, we'll have those pre-order dates so you know exactly when they're coming out. That is my only focus writing right now for publishing. I do have other books that I'm working on writing, including some of my standalones. Those, however, I am working with some potential agents and potential, well, I mean, hopefully publishers, if the agents like them and can sell them to a publisher, but I do have a few who are looking at the manuscripts, so those are a different route. And if you guys have ever been involved in traditional publishing or even read from interviews with people in my world, that would be like Stephen King, Harlan Coben, Bruce Borges, David Baldacci, Michael Beckner, Riley Sager, who of course I just saw. Anytime when you have the traditional publishing, it's a whole world. You've got the agent, and you've got the publishing house that has the editor and the cover designer and the whole team. And it's a process, and it can take like a year, year and a half just to get the book out. So the deadline is just the beginning. Sorry, I really do need more coffee. So there's a lot going on with those, and so that has changed my, I guess, original publishing schedule. But there are some advantages and disadvantages to going that route. I have had the desire to be hybrid for quite a while. I love being indie. I love the control. I love being able to have the say-so of when books are released and what the covers look like, and using all of my own ideas. At the same time, there is still some level of credibility that comes from those. So I guess from a business standpoint, it makes sense to do that. And then also, I like the access that having the traditional publisher can give you, because they can get into some shows and some events that indies aren't as easily able to access. So I'm looking forward to hopefully working in that world as well. That is why some of the books, such as your book, I have 2 standalone thrillers that were inspired by a seminar that I did. My romance, my Kayla Rose, Mackenzie Knight co-writes will probably remain in the indie world. And so those will be later next year once I get past all of the Sin books, but they're still being pushed back because I'm still exploring options for those. So that we'll have to see. That might actually go small press. Again, there's a ton of information out there, and I'm still kind of sifting through it. I have made really good progress on the to-do list though, so I'm feeling a little successful. For those that asked, I was struggling earlier this week. I had a friend, someone I've known since we were very small. She passed away from the same cancer that I went into remission with earlier this year, and between it just being hard to lose someone I cared about and kind of an odd emotional hit for it being something that I had gone through myself. Also, people struggle. When you lose someone you love, when you lose someone you care about, people have a tendency to get angry. And there were people in her life who had spoken with me about Merkel cell carcinoma because it is what I went through. I made the comment that for me, the treatment was worse than the cancer, which is true. I also was not aware of how far along she was. And so when she passed, it seemed disingenuous. That is not the case. It was a hard hit, and some of the people lashed out and accused me of lying. I did not lie. I did not know that she was stage 4. I did not know how bad her tumors were. But regardless, if you are one of the people who saw that, I'm not upset that people lashed out. It happens. I was mad when my dad passed away and it was an accident, but there was nobody to be mad at. So I'm sending love, I'm sending hope and healing to them. It's hard to lose people that you care about, and you can kind of tell I'm still tearing up a little bit, and we weren't even that close anymore. It's just somebody I had known for a very long time. But I hope, Mariana, if you see this, I hope you are doing better. To all of Jess's family, you know, my heart is with you, and I hope that she's okay. I am glad that she was diagnosed and passed so quickly if she was going to, because at least she wasn't suffering. The treatment really was terrible, but my guess is if she was as far along as she was when she was diagnosed, then she was probably suffering already, and so I'm glad she's not anymore. Please, it's a weird thing. With me, I had a couple of moles. Nothing too crazy. A lot of people have moles. I still have one, but it's not cancerous. It's just there. But if there's something wrong, and the biggest thing with skin cancer, the biggest tell is that you have something that doesn't get better. Moles that change color, or they get bigger, or that bleed, or that bother you, they're sensitive. If you have a patch, and sometimes it's eczema, but it's good to get it checked. where it's dry and it just, no matter how much you put lotion on it or exfoliate it or whatever, it doesn't get better, just get checked. It is important, and catching it early, you might go through treatment like I did, but at least you're still here. So get checked. And with skin cancer, it can be hard because it's not a big mass. It's not a huge tumor that you notice. Like with breast cancer, there's obviously lumps you can feel. You can't always tell with the skin cancer. So just get checked, be careful, especially places like this. You want to make sure that you're really covered with the sunscreen. I don't even like run errands without it anymore. I'm a little bit afraid. Gee, I wonder why. But that is what was going on earlier this week, and that is why I'm still dealing with some stuff. Yet one of the many things that has been delaying everything, but I am excited today. I am celebrating. Thank you to Bucked Up for bringing me on, and as part of the team, I'm looking forward to seeing everything and working with you guys. To my team currently at LVAC, the Las Vegas Athletic Club, you guys are awesome. And Oscar, if you and your wife see this, I hope that things are going great for you guys in Alaska. If I ever get back up there, which I hope I do, I've got some other friends up in Alaska, so hopefully I can come visit everybody, and I will have to see how much you can kick my butt up there. But there's a lot going on right now with Wrath finishing and getting ready for Spartan to start. And I know I'm still like 4 months away, but it's gonna go fast, guys. That time, that end of year, but from Labor Day through New Year's, there's so much going on, especially with it being spooky season, which is a big time for me with my books. But you will see, you'll see me and SG Tosh, Sarah, my friend Sarah, quite a bit out and about. We have the Las Vegas Book Festival. We both have the Gothic Market, although she is actually double booked. I'm bummed I'm not going to get to hang out with her, but I adore her husband, Marcin. He will be at the Gothic Market, and that's 2 weeks away now. We will be hanging out at the Las Vegas Convention Center, taking on the Gothic Market. So, J.A. Curtis, she writes dark, spooky romance, so she will also be there. Stop by and say hi. We pretty much got your book needs covered. But hopefully we will see you there. Author socials are up for the rest of the year. We do have September, October, and November. So if you are in town, and again, this is readers, writers, aspiring writers, anybody in the community, stop out and say hi to us. We've got a lot going on. So with spooky season, like I said, coming up, that is my favorite time of year. I'm sure I will be out investigating Spirit Halloween when they're open and getting ready. And I did have somebody ask, yes, I will be out at the Las Vegas Renfest again this year. Nell will be dressing me up in yet another fairy costume, God help us all. But it should be a good time. So if you happen to be out at that cosplay wet dream that it is, it'll be fun to see everybody. For now, I have a ton going on this weekend, just even though I was originally supposed to be gone, but plans change, things come up. So I am using the time to try to catch up on some of the stuff that I was either behind or struggling to get the extra time to do. And I will be coming at you guys next week. I will be getting ready for Odyssey Manor. So just like when we went to John Wick, we've got another cool experience coming up from Area 15. That'll be next week, and there'll be a whole group of us out there. So hopefully we can share that with you as well. I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great week. And as always, until then, stay caffeinated.